Okay, today we're going to take a little look at the Emerson. I'm not doing anything to it. Nothing has changed with the Emerson. It gets older, just like the rest of us. This is really stuck. You can see by the way it depresses my finger. I have to press on it pretty strong just to get it to move at all, which not the end of the world. There's a lot of other things we don't know about this fan. We don't know if it's electronically sound. Let me turn it around. We'll take a closer look. The reason we're doing this right now is because another fan collector on YouTube asked me to show him what the switch looks like. Which I don't think it might not be original on this fan. I don't know very little much about these. It does not look like what's under there is original. We're going to take a look. So on this particular one, which is a model 19666, which is a pretty rad number for an antique fan. Rad, man. This one has all its little bells and whistles. It's got the screw on the back and the oiling port dealy. It's got both of the bronze thumb screws. So it's not missing much. It's got a 50s era light plug, Bakelite cracked plug on it with an old 50s white cord, and we've got what might be the original head wire that is frayed and cut. So at this point it's not a running item. Someone said maybe you could pull these out this way and get enough to grab onto, but at this point the blades don't move anyway, so it doesn't matter. So on the outside for our switch, we see that we have the 1, 2, 3, and it slots into place. You can hear there's something in there, right? And this is the insulator, the whatever this material is. If it's bare metal, you're not insulated. That's a hot... Whew! Don't touch that thing. Whew. Tell you what. Alright, so let's flip him over and see what's underneath. Now, I am admittedly no expert on antique fans like this. I'm more into the box fans, always was, and these fans, especially because the earliest fans are desk fans, you have the earliest versions of the motors, and you have the earliest versions of this and that. I've never had a fan apart that has a gearbox on the back for oscillation. So that's something I don't know anything about. So, for hobby-wise, I'm not really, that knowledgeable. But to the best of what I can see, for a 102-year-old fan, what I see underneath does not look original. This is like a board, like a plasticky board type material. And that does not look like 102 years old to me, I'm telling you. I don't know what it is or why it's in there. These screws don't look that old. It's very possible that this is a kit, that it's not actually original what's underneath here. I don't know. We're going to find out, because I'm going to take some of this apart and see how much we can see. From here you can see where the cord is wired in, and it looks like a big porcelain base. It looks like a light fixture. Almost. We're going to try and get closer. And here we can see our switching mechanism enters through there. So there you go. There's your points. Maybe this is original, but it's not what I expected. I'm going to at least try to take this off. Alright, we've got the insulating board off the back, the bottom of it. And here is what we see. Let me get out of the light a little bit. This is our ceramic switch mechanism. And there's the coil in the center. And then there's probably 3 lines wired up through the coil up to the motor through the whatever. And then you see it says line on each side where the power cord is hooked up to. No splices, whatever, or proper knob on each side. You see these 3 large screws that, you know, they are standard, not Phillips or whatever, and you got your points for your 1, 2, 3. You know, you get your stops for your speeds. Should I take it down even further? I don't know. But that's what we have, basically. Again, I'm just skeptical as to whether this is original equipment or not. It could be, but it just seems, especially that particular piece right there, usually there's felt over the bottom. I know this version of the fans where it was intended to be mounted on a wall if you needed to, and there were rubber feet for it. I think this is the remnant of a rubber foot. And you can get those new. I might pick up a set of 4. So I don't know how original that is. If anyone who's an Emerson guy is into this stuff and knows whether that's original. The earliest fans, the pancake motor GEs and things like that, do have a porcelain switch deal. But this is later. This is 1914 or 16 or something. So it just surprises me to find that under there in the way it looks, and it looks like it's in good condition. You know, anything that's this old could have been restored in its history. You know, sometimes some of those antique cars, you know, like the old Duesenbergs or Stutz or whatever your thing is, some of them have been restored multiple times. So it's possible that this is an original. I don't know, but that's what it comes with. I'll tell you what, if you need to see more, you know who I'm talking about. I'll pull it down, but otherwise I'm just going to leave it in there because honestly I don't have any plan to deal with this. For me, this is a fan that I would send to somebody to have restored. Getting the blades off is a big procedure. You have to actually think on these. You can't get to the rotor. That's a whole nother long story. But the blades are really hard to remove. It's not so simple on things like this one here. On the old fans, a lot of them thread onto the shaft, or in this case the blades thread directly to the rotor. The shaft is stationary. It's a part of the housing. It's crazy. Very interesting. And what I've seen done is what they do is they drill into there. Let me flip it over, I'll show you. Alright, so this is an awful long video for no actual running fan in it. So the back of this one has 2 openings here drilled, and I don't know if they're original to the fan. They don't really look it. I don't have another fan to compare it with. But these are threaded. See that? You can see a little better. You see the paint's chipped? Where am I? See the paint's chipped there? I think this is how you get these apart. I think somebody must have made a tool. Here's what I think. I saw a video. I didn't come up with this. I've seen this. Someone made a video. I can't find the video again. Here's how you pull them apart. You got to drill a hole into the housing. In this case, thread it, and then you'd use a piece of threaded rod, whatever that size is, thread it in so that you can grab onto the rotor, which is on the dang inside there. I don't know if we can see him. See it? There you go. There's your rotor. The rotor is got little stops in it. So there's the rotor moving in there, okay? And you got to get in there, and you got to get up against the rotor to hold it steady so that you can unthread the blade set. It's the only way to get these apart. So if the question is does your fan have these? I think the reason these have to be drilled is because if you go in through here, you either have to go at an angle to get down to the rotor because all the windings are right here. You're awfully close to the windings. And why bother taking it apart if you're going to hit the windings and burn the fan up, right? So that's why you'd want to be careful with that. So that's what we're seeing with this one. Again, there's our frayed head wire. But with the original plastic type grommet deal, you know, it's just interesting that it's pretty darn intact. But maybe it's been restored, you know. Maybe some guy in 1962 found it at a garage sale and had it rebuilt so that he could put it in his stupid candy shop or whatever the hell people did back then when America was so damn great. So, yeah. There you go, Emerson. So someday this fan will be done up right. For me, I would do cosmetic, leave it as it is. You know what they call now synthetic restoration. Just get it running. If it'll run, who knows? We might eventually find out that this is just a parts fan. But there it is, your 1914 through 16 or 17 Emerson model 19666. I hope that answers any questions. I hope I was clear. I know I probably wasn't, but I tried. All right, lady.